Good morning, class, and welcome to American Social Problems in Sociology. I'm Professor White, and I will be your instructor for this magical whirlwind of the course that we're going to be having this fall semester. I wanted to record a little video just introducing myself, as well as letting you know that there is an instructor on the other side of the computer, okay? And then go through the syllabus, provide you with some tips regarding information, due dates, assignments that we will be completing in the course. So one of the things that is the most vital piece of information is your syllabus. So please make sure that you are printing out your syllabus, because that is where you're going to have your due dates, the assignments that you're going to have, and important information. So if we go on to the beginning of the syllabus, and I'm scrolling right along, you'll notice that there's the course description, you'll see the course objective, as well as your student learning outcomes, all the important stuff in terms of the course. This is where you will also find the information regarding your class textbook. You may purchase or rent your book either at the bookstore or online, and we will be utilizing the 11th edition. The book itself is not very costly. I have had students ask if they're allowed to buy an older edition for a different book. I always advise students that it is up to your own discretion, because I take my exam questions directly from the 11th edition, okay? So the assignments, you are gonna have one midterm and one final for the entire course. You will notice that in this week's module, you will find your first study guide for the first exam. Now, I find this to be of benefit and very helpful for you, because those are the exact questions that are on your exam. So make sure that you follow along chapter by chapter as you're reading, and you are going through it with your study guide, okay, for both your midterm and your final. Now, another thing that you will be having as an assignment, you will be doing 3 news reflection assignments. These are 3 very short assignments. They're each 1 page each, 3 of them through the semester. And I will be providing you more information regarding your news reflections within your modules as we get closer to the first one being due. I'll also provide you with a student example of the assignment, so you have an idea of what I'm looking for that assignment. I also have the instructions in the syllabus as well, okay? Now, let's see. You will be having 1 PowerPoint assignment that will be due for the course. The instructions are within your syllabus, but as we get closer to this assignment being due, I will provide you with more information regarding the rubric as well as student examples. So if you're interested in knowing what the project's going to consist of, it is within your syllabus. Now lastly, the last thing that you will have to do on a weekly basis will be your online discussion questions. So this is your discussion board. This is the way that I do attendance to make sure that you are participating in class and you are reading the material. Now, make sure that you're posting your initial responses by every Friday by 11:59. Okay, 11:59, your initial post. By Sunday night at 11:59, 2 peer responses are due every Sunday. Now you're going to notice in the module when it says due date that it's always the closing date is on a Sunday. Now that's your peer responses, because if I were to close it out, then it would not be continuous if I close it on Friday. So again, remember, news reflections are due by Friday, 11:59 at night, 2 peer responses by Sunday by 11:59. Now be sure that you're thoroughly reading the instructions on the discussion board, because it will provide you with information of exactly what I'm looking for in that discussion board, okay? Let's see what else. Late work. Okay, so late work. So there are no late assignments in this course. Now, oftentimes students say, why not, Miss White? And the reason I say is because I'm preparing you for the real world, okay? In the real world, we are responsible for ourselves and for our actions. If we show up to work, if we don't show up to work, there are expectations that you're supposed to go to work and do your work on time. So therefore, that is why I implement that in my class. Now, of course, emergencies can happen throughout the semester, and in that case, if you have an emergency, you can reach out to me as soon as possible, and we'll make accommodations. Now, please note that you will have to provide documentation if there is an emergency. Additionally, going on vacation during Thanksgiving week, for example, is not considered an emergency, okay? I had many students this summer go on vacations all around the world, and we're not able to complete assignments on time. So if you know that you are going to be, say for example, going somewhere, just reach out to me early, okay? And I can see what we can work out. There will be one extra credit assignment that will be provided to help make up those missed points, and that will not be assigned until the very last week of class, okay? If we keep going down, scrolling down for the syllabus, it will give you the breakdown for your grades and according to percentages, okay? Academic honesty. Plagiarism is not acceptable. You want to make sure that you are not plagiarizing anybody's words, you know, information, research that they did themselves, and then you take for credit for them, okay? In the course, especially discussion board and the news reflection, you are going to be continuously citing material. So therefore, it is very important that you know the proper way of citing material instead of plagiarizing. Now, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly, or you can do a quick Google search, okay? Students with disabilities, if you need accommodations within the syllabus, I do provide information on how to reach out in terms of making an appointment and then providing me with those accommodations, okay? Attendance policy. So you want to be here. I know that we're not physically seeing each other when we're in class, but I do know through Canvas whether you are or not logging in, you know, doing assignments, you know, so take the class serious. You know, it's the same as being face to face, okay? I know it's a lot easier to sometimes like put it off because you're thinking, oh, I'll get to it, right? But again, you know, be here, participate. Office hours, I can be reached through email. I respond within 24 hours, Monday through Friday. I'm obsessed with email. So you'll notice that if you email me, I'll usually email you pretty much right away, okay? The weekends is a different story. I have a husband and 2 children, and the weekend is when we get all the activities that are going around, and a bunch of birthdays in November and a bunch of weddings in November. November is going to be a fun month for us. So, if you do need to email me on the weekend, note that it is going to take me a little bit longer than usual. Also, make sure that you're emailing me well before an assignment if you have any questions, okay? And lastly, respect, okay? I want to remind everyone that some topics we discuss in this course may be very sensitive because we're talking about social problems. There's a lot of them. Okay, so, you know, sometimes we may be very opinionated of how we feel about something, and we may voice ourselves and then not knowing that that's not very nice, you know, especially towards someone else. Okay, so just, you know, I always say we want to have a sense of humor, but being decent about it, okay, being respectful, being nice, okay? Then on the last part of the syllabus is your course at a glance, and it goes week by week. So this week you'll see August 20th, it'll tell you we're reading chapter 1. Next week, August 27th, we're reading chapter 2. Week 3, we are reading chapter 3, and your first news reflection is due, okay? So it's always going to tell you when assignments are due. So week 2, in week 2 module, you'll notice that I will put the information regarding the, no, I digress, I'm wrong. In week 3, I will be putting the information for your news reflection, okay? So whatever week that assignment is due in, whatever week that assignment is due in, then that is when I will be placing that information, okay? So that's the syllabus. If we go towards the left-hand side menu, you'll notice that we have the modules, and in the modules, this will be a breakdown of everything week by week. So week 1, so August 20th, okay, through the 26th. Okay, so you'll notice that you have your week 1 instructions. This is going to introduce you to the topic that we're learning, as well as any assignments that are due that week, or any reminders of, oh, next week you have an exam, next week you have a PowerPoint, next week. So I always try to give you reminders right before an assignment. You'll also notice that your Chapter 1 PowerPoint is there. I also provide PowerPoint presentations that correlate with the presentation, with the topic that we're discussing. These are the exact PowerPoints, these are my lectures that I present when I'm teaching the class face-to-face. You'll also notice week 1 discussion board. Again, in this week it says August 26th. 26th is for the peer responses, but the 24th is for your initial post. You'll also, again, how I'd mentioned before, your midterm study guide, okay? That is pretty much it for the modules. Announcements. Announcement section I will utilize in terms if I have to reach out to the class in case there's an emergency, in case I have a delay, and maybe saying I'm being delayed in terms of grading something like a discussion or an assignment. I always send out the announcement, placing it in our class, as well as sending out an email as well. One of the last things I was going to say is, in terms of trying to get a hold of me, please use my school emailing address and or Canvas. Now, I've had students where once an assignment is graded, a student will write a comment. I have no way of being told by Canvas that you posted a message. So therefore, if you have a comment, if you have a question, email me directly to the school account or to Canvas. Okay, so I think that is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the semester. This is a really, I wouldn't say fun class, because you're going to notice how depressing this class is, because everything in this world seems to be a social problem, and you're going to notice that it's a class that really makes you think of life in a different way, okay? Oftentimes when we think of sociology, we think like, what that is, but then you're going to realize and soon learn, if you haven't taken a social class before, that we surround ourselves on a daily basis with sociology, not to mention social media, which we'll be talking about in class. But I really hope you enjoyed the course. If you guys ever have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed the course. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.